So we start on Apollo's image. Hello, this is Trilogy. Hello, welcome. We are playing more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies. Woo! Yeah. Let's get started. Last time, we are in a flashback episode about Apollo, the first time Apollo and Athena met. And, this case seems open and shut. We kind of know who did it. It's been shown to us, like, yeah, we know who did it. But we're gonna see if there's any crazy twists that happen, because sometimes that happens. If you remember the Master Mask case, that was well, we did know who did it anyway, but it was still a crazy twist nonetheless. So, yeah. I mean, a lot of Ace Attorney cases, we kind of know who did it. Sometimes it Joe curveballs, but it's the second case, so understandable why. This one is like, it's pretty open and shut. We know who it is. We may just, depending how long this is, we may finish it. You okay, Athena? You've been really angsty since we got here. You know what'll help with that? Checking the court record. So let's all look at all the things that we have before we start this case. Let's give a bit of a refresher. Maybe I'll remember things. The Yokai Legend Scroll. Look at that. The sole document showing what Tenmataro looks like. It's only document that shows. That's a very important detail. It seems those who foolishly choose to depict a demon are cursed. If you believe in that sort of thing. Tenmataro Warding Charm. The Tenmataro Warding Charm that Jinxie gave me when I set out for the scene of the crime. So this was to prove that, hey, yo, Jinxie, you're full of shit. You did see Tenmataro. The Ninetales Flower. A flower found only in Ninetales Vale. It boosts Jinxie's courage because it was her mother's favorite. Aww. Special edition paper. A newspaper with a photo of Tenmataro soaring through the air. Around 3:40 p.m. near Ninetales Vale. This was after the murder? Crime scene diagram. A diagram showing the scene of the crime. So there's the Fox Chamber and there's an air duct. Does the air duct have any use whatsoever? Who knows? From what the footage we saw in the beginning of the episode in case, good old sir was again done doing the deed and then opened the chamber and then don't know what happened. I assume maybe there's a costume of Tenmataro in the Forbidden Chamber and the wrestler guy knows it. That's where the costume is, and then he gets whoever. I mean, someone played along. Did the guy who murdered him play along as in the village? And then like he just snapped one day? Did the village chief of the other village or chief? Leader, village leader, mayor? Yeah, the mayor. Did they play along as the other one? We don't know who the identity of Tenmataro is. Will that be a key to helping solve the case? I have no idea. But we know who the Foxtail, Ninetail Fox guy is. We definitely know that. He's sadly dead. So then Tenmataro went to the foyer, where two witnesses say didn't see him. So that's just great. They were maybe busy watching television, or are lying their asses off. Also, let me just check how the audio is at myself. Also, let me just check. I sound pretty good. All right. Camera must catch that. So maybe the Tenmataro didn't go through. This is a Fox and Demon statue. A statue that was at the crime scene. It depicts Tenmataro and Ninetail Fox locked in the battle. And the crime photo. Sprawled out. He's unconscious. This guy's dead. Feathers and creature footprints, which you can mask. A photo of the Fox Chamber. There are bloody footprints and black feathers scattered on top of the blood. The amazing Ninetales mask. A mask found washed up by the riverside. It might have been at the crime scene. White hair inside. The amazing Ninetales glossy. A photo of the hero who sparked the monster craze and saved Ninetales Vale from becoming a ghost town. Woo! Tenmataro sighting. Summary. After leaving the scene and calling the police, they passed each other at the bend in the hall. Oh, I thought this was her perspective. in the hall as he made for the foyer. He was carrying a staff-like implement that jingled. She couldn't call for help because there was no one else in the hall and scared. TV listings. Filcher's TV program guide. The afternoon wrestling match was a total disaster. Tenmatara Pro Wrestling Howlin' Wolf versus the Pretty Boy Vampire. Blow-by-blow commentary by Timothy Twilight. And that is it. We have our suspects. Trucy Wright. Magician, you say? Obviously. She could have done it. Jinxie Tenma. She could be lying. Age 15. Friend of Trucy. She thinks I'm a demon. True. She's already lying about that. The Amazing Ninetales. Age question mark. Mass wrestler who sparked a monster craze. He's against the municipal merger. No one knows his true identity except for us, because it's solely this guy, Rex Cuby, age 46, deceased alderman of the Ninetales Vale. His snow white hair was particularly striking. Damien Tenma, Jinxie's father, 46, and the mayor of Tenma Town. He was found unconscious at the scene of the crime. Dina Sykes, new character. Maybe she did it. She apparently studied psychology while she was in Europe. Right. The caretaker of QB Manor, he says he was guarding the entrance at the time of the murder. Phineas Filch, and then Bobby Fulbright, detective investigating the murder of Ninetales Vale. He's self-styled champion of justice and keeper of the peace. And here is Florent Elbel, age 33, Mayor Tenma's aide. He was supposedly in the foyer with Filch at the time of the murder. Don't know. Did they do it? Who knows? Anyway, that's all that. Summary. I'm caught up. I can't wait to forget everything I just read. I'm just excited. This is my first real court case after all. Yeah, real ball of excitement she is. I know just what she needs. Athena! Oh my fuck! My ears! Did you ever hear about indoor and outdoor voices? I'm just trying to show you the best way to relive your pre-trial jitters. By scaring the daylights out of me? Now I find that shouting, "I'm fine!" in a loud voice really relieves stress. It's part of my Chords of Steel voice workout and a must before every trial. You want me to shout? Here? That's right. Here. I'll go first and you try. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine! Yeah, he's fine. Alright, I'm Athena Sykes. And I'm fine! I think that actually worked. Oh, that's great. I thought it might help. Always works for me. An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time. Junior high friend? I see. A proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Hey, how about we finish off with a race around the courthouse? We'll be too tired and the trial's about to start, girl. The point is to relieve stress, not get totally exhausted. What's with all the racket, you two? Mr. Wright! Just a little voice workout. Oh, Mr. Phoenix, right? Look at him, front-facing Phoenix, right? So rare. Such a rare, portrait here. Hey, what's with the suit? What's with the suit? Why are you dressed like that? Where's your beanie and hoodie? Oh, this? I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back in, that's all. That's all? That's huge news! But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon. But we can talk about that another time. No fair. Inquiring minds want to know. But wow. Oh my god! The 3D model. There's three. At least we got to see Hobo Phoenix one last time. Look at him. Oh man. This is Hoodie there. I'm so used to him in his usual laid-back clothes. It's now weird, right? Seeing him in this outfit. That suit makes him look like $1 million. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor signed of this case? Yeah, he's serving time. But before that, he was a prosecutor. He also uses psychology. That's a string of fucking phrases I've heard. What a combination. That's right. I've heard the rumors about how he was back before his conviction. Using the power of suggestion, he can make even the most stalwart defendants confess. Psychology in a courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. So he must be a pretty scary guy considering he's a prison inmate and all. So they say. They also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much. What? I knew it was gonna be bad news. It's probably just hyperbole. Although, I have been whipped before, so I mean, it's not a problem. It could be literal. At least I hope for your sake. Wait, so is it true or not? Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, that is. Yikes! Tone down my cords of steel, too. So, you all ready? It might be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring. I already did that, sir. I'm already ahead of you. Right, Mr. Right? But I'm fine. I'll be watching you from the gallery. Good luck. Thanks! Okay, let's do this. Two lawyers are better than one. We got this. The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low. But that's nothing new. Believe in our client. Seek the truth. That's all we can do. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma. Here comes justice. Let's go. Ah. 9:30 in the morning. Again, why are we starting on odd times? Court is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Apollo Justice Defense Team Leader is ready, Your Honor. Oh, quite. I know that big booming voice anywhere. As chipper as ever, eh, Mr. Justice? But, who's that young lady next to you? Oh, my. I'm Athena Sykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner and fresh out of law school. Well, now full of beans too, eh? Excellent! Makes an old man feel young again. What the fuck does that mean? Now for the prosecution! Oh, guess he's not full of beans. Well, it appears the prosecution is not ready yet. Oh, maybe he is. Oh, bathroom humor. Never fear, for I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. Prison? Oh, yes, of course. I almost forgot that he's currently serving time. The most important detail about one of my fucking prosecutors. I almost forgot it. Huh. Here comes the animated cutscene. I kinda should have guessed this would happen.
Yup, Prosecutor Blackquill's an inmate.
Let him go. He did that. He did that. Good for him. But are you good?
But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
That's a phrase. So, go ahead. Hi, sir. Oh, you don't get a voice actor? Damn. I don't know how he's gonna sound like. I may give him the wrong voice. Oh, well, whatever. We deal? Who's that with the black? Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him. I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackquill. Mr. Prosecution ready. That being said, it is good for anime cutscenes that I know how to pronounce his name. I thought it was Blackquill. I mean, he has a quill in his mouth. That's why I would have thought that. Huh. Alright, imagine. Edgy. Linkin Park. Disturbed. Let's go. Evanescence. Enough jabbering. Get on with it already. Oh, of course. Forgive me. Why are all the people related to this case so scary? Very well, Prosecutor Blackquill. You're... Shut the fuck up! No, what's the matter? Why? It's jangling chains. Must we continue to fritter away time like this? It is all right there in the indictment. An opening statement would be pointless. Pointless? Oh, well, he makes a good argument. Looks like the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor, has to judge his tongue. But we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand. Well then, is this Steam, by the way? Let me listen to it for a second. Oh wow, it's got a bell. Oh, it's like his chains. Like a hammer hitting something. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good theme. Okay, that's good. It's a good theme, dude. Anyway. Well then, your baldness. If it's so very important, why don't you do the honors? Oh, me? It's a term for people who whine and fuss. How they need silly, useless things. And then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool. Huh? What? Wait, was that the prosecution's opening statement? I guess. Huh. Old dotards, such as you, are plague upon the young. I thought that said something completely different. I was like, what? Huh? They could put that in this game? Oh no. I pity your grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren? Oh, shit. That's very mean. All these years, I thought the opening statement was the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. Might be a nice change of pace. Why, what? He actually fell for that? How was this a trick? He just insulted him a couple bits and was like, alright, well, there you go. Oh, he just insulted him and was like, alright, I guess I'll do it. That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about. That doesn't make any sense. You just insulted him. I'm pretty sure if I did that, he would penalize me like 4 health bars. The opening statement, huh? Let's see here. The victim was one Rex Cuby, alderman of Ninetails Vale. And the defense, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenmatown, is accused of his murder. And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested? His prints were on the murder weapon. Plus he had a motive, the elimination of the biggest roadblock to the municipal merger. The caretaker and the secretary, other potential suspects, both have alibis. And his daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive. So in a nutshell, I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible. Bravo, your baldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head. Oh, wow, you're flattering me. Flattery will get you everywhere. How is that flattery? He's playing Simon Says with the judge. Yeah, in a way. Moving right along, let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Yes, let's hear from our cop. That's enough from the cop. All right, fantastic. Now let's hear from some actual witnesses. No, all right, fine, let's keep going. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the detective assigned to the case, Bobby Fulbright. Oh, and I'll be also be keeping tabs on old Blackquill here. He's his keeper. I also heard you would provide protection if it ever came to that. Please, please keep him away from me. It would seem that I have been sorely underestimated. Wait, Who's protecting who from what? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their... Oh! Fulbright. Yeah, I'm funny. Save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement. That's the spirit of justice. Oh wait, that hasn't come out yet. Oh, the person hasn't gotten to that game yet. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I'll never give up on you. Hey yo, are they you know? Blackquill, my baby girl. Hello, Verde. Yes, it is your baby girl, Blackquill. Prosecutor Blackquill doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say. Ignorance is bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Blackquill. He's so oblivious. Let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright. You got it! But first, I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail. Fantastic. Let's hear about the murder. Alderman Gilby was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman Gilby was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. I'm very, sensitive there. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back. That is one way to say it. Do we have an autopsy report? Like, did he die instantly or whatever? No autopsy report this time? I can't wait for that to come into play. Alderman QB had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug. That's right. The accused was scared because the Alderman was a former pro wrestler. Have we ever all tested drugs for my client? Because he said he was also falling asleep. We thought it wouldn't be necessary, but he said he was falling. Not necessary. Oh, wait, that's great. So we slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. Let's see. Cause of stab with a spear. Estimated time of death around 3:20 p.m. The victim had been in a drug-induced slumber. Okay, so not instantaneous. But. And the victim managed to attack his attacker, despite being impaled by a spear? That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler, after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him. Objection! Objection! And not so fast. Don't try to brush it all off by saying the alderman had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Ha! Never heard the incredible feats of which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clink. And then I killed him. I don't know. It still sounds a little far-fetched. Does it now? Then perhaps we should test my theory on you with the edge of my blade. I'm not a pro wrestler. I didn't sign up for this. Ah, god damn it. Huh. And so your life is spared. For now. Yeah. Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die. Or Apollo, he's just like sweating bullets here. Although I do miss Apollo's. God, I don't know what face that is, but this is it's the most ridiculous face he can make. I do wonder if they'll attempt it in this game in the 3D model. Haha, my investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof. Well, my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest. Okay. The accused's fingerprints were on the weapon, and he's the one without an alibi. Quite decisive evidence, wouldn't you agree, your baldness? The defense is sounding guiltier by the minute. He has the judge leaning toward a guilty verdict, and the trial has barely begun. Huh. That one came out wrong. I'm like, oh, barking. What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks the merger for the purpose of freeing Tenmataro from his imprisonment. Truth be told, I can think of no real reason to show interest in that backwards burg. Damn. So mean. Perhaps he's a complete nutter. Nutter? And really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, he's raving mad and more than capable of murdering the alderman. So wait, you're saying that seeks a merger for the purpose of freeing Tenmataro from the imprisonment. Okay. And the reason he supposedly murdered our wrestler here is because the wrestler was against the merger. So killing him would obviously succeed in the merger, which I guess, sure, that works. Even though we talked to our client and he said, nah, I'm not part of it. Hey, look what Mary's here. I just went to the blood drop, but instead of donating, he wanted to make a withdrawal. What type of shit? Order! There will be no gossiping in my court! Your baldness. Please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon of Tenmataro. Actually, I just like the tape. My daughter just keeps putting these on me. It's very adorable, really. Then again... Are you about to say you're possessed by a demon? Perhaps he's already under the demon spell. Oh, that. Behold, the lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment.
Hold it!
Oh, thank you for interrupting. Hold it! The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, they're just a fashion statement. I think. They're a very nice fashion statement, yes. I'm the trick of it. Such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they? The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Oh, what dreadfully fearsome lass we have here. Ew, thanks for the lifeline, Adina. Careful, Apollo. He has a judge dancing in the palm of his hand. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwell's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impression to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news. Kind of instead of Kaiba voice. I just really try to make the most gravelly voice. They didn't have him voiced in the animated cutscene, so I have no idea what actor it is. So I'm like, alright, I guess I'm going with gravel. Whatever. In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself, despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than this statue right here. Ah, beautiful, mint condition. That blood just makes the art really pop, you know? It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. Two yokai, to be exact. On one side is the nine-tailed fox, Naruto, my OG. And on the other side, Tenmataro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art. Statue that the weapon used to bludgeon the mayor. The mayor's blood was found on it, but no prints could be lifted. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Oh God, it's been so long since this statement, I don't remember what he said. Let's go with this. All right. Was he murdered with a spear? So those weapons on the wall of the fox chamber, I presume those are real? Don't you think keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous? No matter what he collected, the alderman insisted it be the real deal. For instance, he had a real demon's club in his possession. Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle. What? That's gotta be an old wives' tale. I keep thinking it's old wives' tale. Hahaha! The alderman had pure, unadulterated justice flowing in his veins. Whatever he did it right. We've lost a real champion of justice in his death. Just fucking crying rivers now. Good God, please stop crying. Nothing but claptrap and balderdash, if you ask me. Stop your bleeding and tell us about the weapon. Your wish is my command. Fingerprints. Yeah, let's talk about the fingerprints. Why not? Fuck it. Doesn't make sense if you think about it. Prints could be easily wiped off. You do have a point there. I'd venture to say he did not wipe off the prints because he could not. What do you mean? Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Don't just stand there. Show him who's boss. What? I'm totally lost. So why don't you just tell me the answer already? He's just silently pointing because he didn't say that out loud. I don't think he saw that plea for help. You feeling alright, kid? Running a fever, perhaps? I wish Charles came with a reset button. We could just load the save right now. I could reset this entire thing. In fact, let's just do that now. Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright. Alderman Kirby was asleep from a drug. Hold it! Oh, yeah. Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was the sedative in his coffee? Bingo! We found traces of sleeping agent all over the inside of that cup. If only I could use science to depict it. Oh, Emma Sky, where are you now? Probably snacking on some snackoos. And that is why he was out cold. That is until he leapt to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor. What an awful way to wake up. It is. A rather stimulating eye-opener if you ask me. I too would have risen to the attack, for to die in battle is the samurai way. I just realized that you are apparently very samurai-coded. Paradise awaits fallen heroes, but that hole in his stomach would make eating a challenge. Prosecutor Blackquill, please! Those morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court. Huh, says the jester in detective's guise. Moving right along. His helpless victim, human shish kebab. So the alderman was drugged because he was really strong. Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? I'm surprised the spear even managed to pierce that armor-like musculature. I admit, I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. Ha ha ha. Well, he did look pretty buff, even in that suit he had on. Quite the difference when compared with a yellow belly like you. Whoa! So mean. Yellow belly? Who even says that anymore? Yeah, and the colors are wrong too. Oh, I know. How about a squishy red tomato? I move to strike both your comments from the record. Both of your comments from the record. Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Let's get back to what happened after a far more muscular alderman was impaled. Far more muscular. Thank you, sir. Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot. Not me, I'm built different. Grabbed the statue and struck back! Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with a huge spear? Absolutely. After all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of being drugged, then speared, was answered with a righteous counterattack. Does being a former pro wrestler make him superhuman? Absolutely. After all, he was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need. Objection. You need to lay off the comic books, detective. We're talking about real life here. Actually, I've not heard his objection yet, so, we still yet to hear his voice. Setting aside the half-wit's flight of fancy. The fact is this. The court-ordered post-mortem concluded the victim moved after his skewering. So he found the strength somehow to attack his attacker, huh? Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds alright. No wonder he's so confident. Well, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. That part about the Alderman fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. Uh-huh. Jolted him awake, and he grabbed the statue and struck back. So let's look at the statue. Mare's blood was found on it, but no prints could be lifted. So there's no prints. And he knocked him out, so yeah, I mean, if there's no prints on that thing, then how the hell did he wipe off the thing? But we'll just save just in case. Yeah, we'll go with this.
Objection!
Objection! Did the Ultimate really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? A little bit. Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the Alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him. The statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well, let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about the detective statue theory. It's not broken. There are no fingerprints. QB fought unarmed. So obviously, you'd be like, fuck it. No statues, only fists. There are no fingerprints. There are no fingerprints on the supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo, you'll notice that the Alderman isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he is quite gloveless. Indeed. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you? This can't be. Did I arrest the wrong man? Probably, yeah. That's why we're here. Da, 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 da. That's it's a 2014. I think it's a remix. Alright. You did it, Apollo! Yippee! I did it! I solved the case, everybody! We can go home! This calls for a celebration. Here's my emote. My new animated emote. Here we go. Yippee! We did it. It's very tiny. You can't see it that well, but there it goes. You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse. Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. Oh, we didn't solve the case. God damn it. Well, the case it continues. What do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the Alderman? Oh, there's a guitar riff in it. Nice. Oh, I'm sorry, Adina. I'm too busy listening to my sick-ass theme. Well, if it wasn't the Alderman, that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You mean there was a third party there in the Fox Chamber? Exactly. And this could be the big break we've been looking for. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackquill, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion? Huh. The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade. Justice Dono. Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. It will take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackquill. Is Blackquill a weeaboo? A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. While you were studying the law, I was studying the blade. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackquill. Huh. There's a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained claw found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Hone your mind, boy. How old are you? Actually, wait, I need to see. 28, you're like... What, 7 years older than him? 6? That's not that old. Stop calling me boy. Why was there blood on the cloth? Solve that riddle, and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Now, let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used by the Kyuubi as a head covering, to wipe up blood, to wrap up the statue? Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Why would he do that, though? Ah! Precisely. Bully for you, boy. Wait, are you in the Japanese phrases or English phrases? I go get you, sir. It was nothing. Oh, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did. I did. Right. That a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Oops. 2 pages. The weapon used to bludgeon the mayor, wrapped in a large cloth. Great. Now do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly honed his blades before he went to work like the samurai of yore. Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef? Oh, what a story. Have to get him on these trials. Maybe he'll be a witness in the future. It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kind of attached to that hole. Now what? Aren't we all attached to holes? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. Huh. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. There's only one answer. The real killer. Prove the existence of this real killer then. What evidence have you? Oh, do not. Athena, do not bring up the fucking footprints. Please don't do this to me. Oh, I'll give you evidence, alright? Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. No, Athena. Okay, fine. We're gonna give this a shot. Let's go down this process. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. This defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that alderman. I will kick you out. I believe in ghosts, not monsters. Actually, yokai are technically ghost-like creature monsters. Still no. That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Objection!
Objection! No, Athena! You just lost what little credibility we had left. Ah! That fucking face is so stupid. I love it. It's like, ah! Looks like a modern painting. Looks like that one painting with the person who's just has their mouth agape and putting their hands on their cheeks and everything swirly. Is that a Van Gogh? I think it is. Sorry. Guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, oh God, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch! You meanie! I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright! He's literally in the stands! He can see us! Arguing! He's just in the back, like, good God, they're gonna lose the case, aren't they? So this court is to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it. No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed? Mr. Justice, you seemed as new to this as your partner is. Well, I've only had like a year under my belt on this. Ouch. This I am not reporting to Mr. Wright. He is literally watching this case go down. Hoy, Fulbright. Is he talking to me? Explain to his baldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. What? You mean you can explain all that? Fulbright. Investigative prowess is without equal. I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession. The Scream by Edward Munch. Thank you so much, Verde. Yes, The Scream. Her face looks like The Scream. It's very funny. Very well. Let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks. Feathers and tracks. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer! Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears. Absolutely. He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon. Tenmataro, that is. Tenma who? Tenmataro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black feather demon. Oops. And thus were they blinded to other, more plausible explanations. Hold it. Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor. And as part of this event, there was someone dressed like in the likeness of Tenmataro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon. Oh, that's how he sounds like. Goodness gracious. He sounds like more like Edgeworth. Oh well. Dullard, you are playing right in the killer's mind games. Huh? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Tenmataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenmataro suit is the killer. The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the ultimate, and thus our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Objection? Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid?
Objection!
So British. The evidence speaks for itself. Albright. Right! It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The Amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. As he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. Clearly his official voice is wrong. He sounds like such a guy by now. Yep, that's true. He's about to play card games with me and to finish off this case. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But, do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe in yokais behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent and impressionable minds. Just so. A particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words from me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. I like how his thing is just, oh yeah, this inmate told me some crazy shit. Just keep saying anecdotes from inmates. You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist? No. He was framed for murder for his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Oh my god. Don't they all say that? Oh, hydration, you're right. I should also stretch. You're right. But they all say that, don't they? It's like, I was actually framed for the murder? Alright. Oh. Actually, I think we've been going at this for an hour. Alright. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? Yes, but... Now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Sorry, we've gone so far off track. I don't remember what he said again. Oh yes, the wrestling angle.
Hold it!
The municipal merger, let's talk about that. Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely. They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Tenma!" Just the other day, they stormed Tenma City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers. Storming City Hall, that sounds like something I wouldn't believe. No, the citizens would never do that. No. Huh. But when the accused showed his face, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, lowly yokai are no match for Tenmataro, the dark lord of their kind. Wait, are the villagers scared of the Mayor Tenma or Tenmataro? I'm confused. I think he means Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy. I think a little bit of both. Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant will commit such an act? Hold it! Amazing Ninetales. No one knows his true identity, right? That's right. And he was a lone wolf, or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star, defeating the one Tenma Town wrestler after another. So wait, this yokai, these yokai towns also have wrestling matches? What? I thought there was like global matches or something. He's like Tenma Town wrestler specifically. Okay. And before anyone knew it, he was champion. Like the samurai of yore surrounded Dick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was complete, utter loss of face for Tenma Town Pro Wrestling. It was amazing! If ever there was a real superhero, it would be him! I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday! I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackquill. Ah yes, they'd be legendary together. A police detective and a prisoner in chains? You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. Ahaha! So you do understand the greatness that is the Amazing Ninetales. Sure. So we stoked the villagers' fears. Fabricating the monster, huh? Did the murder and yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect! The presumed return of the dreaded Tenmataro has them shaking in their boots! Oh my! Is it really that bad? Huh. That superstitious lot. It's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. It's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his honor buying into the Simon the Psycho Slasher's words makes me want to spark my own exodus out of this courtroom right about now. So you see, there could be only one reason why anyone would plant those feathers in tracks. And it looked like the yokai was the killer. But it doesn't add up. Why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman QB? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So your honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct? Objection. Perhaps the killing was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it was premeditated. Or it wasn't premeditated. From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. Startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman QB's secret identity. Apollo! I think Prosecutor Blackquill has figured out Alderman's secret identity. Yeah, the most secret identity of all time. Goodness gracious, how did no one figure this one out? But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the Amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my, but why would it have been there? Alright, go ahead and reveal it. The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? Well, Oh! He was a fan of the Ninetales Fox wrestler. He had his memorabilia. Could it really be? Your baldness has had an epiphany, I say. Our victim, Rex Cubey, was the amazing Ninetales. Oh! Even bigger revelation! Shut up. And the mere discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. No! I was gonna reveal it. Oh, there's his face. Oh! What a shocking development. A motive cleared and crystal clear. What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they'd tie Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last, we've reached my real point. Why did Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your baldness? I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create his other persona just to secretly participate in anti-merger movement? Very astute of you, your baldness. Right, now take a look at this. Blackmail letter. If you value your dearest life, you will merge that as well and tell myself. Do not tell anyone about this threat. If you do, consider your dear as good as dead. The blackmail letter was found in Alderman Cubey's pocket. What? Wait. We gotta back this up. Hang on. At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital. He has a wife? And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. So... Can we see this right now, or...? Tenma did not give us his blackmail letter. That is a different blackmail letter. There were two blackmails going on right now. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? Oh, fuck. That's why he didn't give it. It went missing. And it's that one. Fucking what? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder and planted it in the Alderman's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what happened. Talk about being up the creek without a paddle. The blackmail letter has reappeared in the worst way possible. Fantastic. Hang on. Let me see this. It's so vague and nondescript. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetales Vale with Tenma Town. Don't tell anyone about this threat. If you do, consider your dear as good as dead. Yeah, shit. Maybe he used both. Maybe he was like, fuck it. He made 2 copies and was like, alright. These guys will oppose. Wait. So this one was like, merge towns. For both of them. He wanted both of them to merge towns. Oh no. This was for the Mayor Tenma. So he wanted to try to merge towns. He couldn't really... I don't know. The possibility of there being 2 blackmail letters and him just, the murderer, taking one of them could be a thing. But for now, we're gonna go under the assumption that he just gave the blackmail letter, the killer gave the blackmail letter to Tenma. And then when all that craziness went down and killed Alderman, he just took Tenma's blackmail letter and then put it in his pocket. So, yeah. Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway if he just left after planting the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetales. So So it was the amazing Ninetales' counterattack that brought the entire crime to light. Wait a sec. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the alderman after planting the yokai evidence. And that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that? I think the crime scene maybe. Oh, yeah, no. There's no blood on top of the bird feathers? Well, maybe in those bottom left ones. Maybe you could see that. That could just be coloring, though. Yeah, there's no blood on top of the bird feathers. They're on top of the blood. So, yeah. Because you planted the evidence. Also, the tracks. Like, what tracks are we looking at right here? Like, it is if there's no fake blood in here. This is all his blood. Like, look at these tracks. Like, would he just? Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Maritima killed the sleeping alderman and after planting the feathers and tracks. I could press this, but we're just gonna go ahead and go with this.
Objection!
Objection! Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. Oh, give up. What's this? You dare question my justice again? Yes, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Take a look at this photo. This is the crime scene photo. And just what does it prove? It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted. But I already told you, they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence, then was knocked out while killing his victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene. I'm just gonna save just in case, but I'm like 100% sure it's like the fact that tracks even exist. There's blood on them. That are the feathers.
Take that!
Aren't you just pointing to yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice? Exactly. Yes. See how the feathers are on top of the blood? And the tracks were made in blood. In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman. We just went over that he can't do that, in your theory. But you said it yourself, the mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all, therefore. There must have been someone else besides the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene. It must be some kind of mistake. Da, 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 da. Yeah, show him, Apollo. Let's fucking go. Order! Order! Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Ha ha ha! Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness testimony for you. You do? How? Was my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked? He's taking this really hard. Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have? I have it right here, Your Honor. It's the sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was the demon, Tenma Taro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks. Maybe you should have led with the fact that it's a person in an outfit. Apollo? Apollo. Will somebody please say something? The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means, otherwise I'm taking 5 of your health points away. 8,000 life points. 8,000 life points away. You dare to mock this court and justice itself? You unfit to bear your name, boy. Wow. Mocking my name, too. Your baldness, it appears our defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion. Hold it! Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should, step down, please hear me out. Ah, very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears, but you better explain yourself well. It's not like I've seen crazy shit happen in this courtroom anyway. What was this yokai you were talking about? It's all in the statement here. Jinxie Tenma asserts that she saw Tenma Taro after she discovered the crime scene and called the police. She came around the corner in the hall. It was around here that she saw Tenma Taro fleeing toward the foyer. So my guess is that, okay, so she sees the crime scene, she's like, oh fuck, she calls the police. Then she comes back. When she's there, the killer is in the mysterious room, dressed as the Tenma Taro outfit, in the Tenma Taro outfit. And then she leaves, and the killer's like, well, I gotta get out of here. I can't get out the window, because, no. So he just decides to flee toward the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. Now those shoes must hurt like hell. How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before? The defense just proved it was someone else. The mayor, the killer? Was it all set up? The prosecutor is a convicted felon. Paolo, the momentum has shifted in our favor. Good. Now let's keep it that way. Objection! No! The momentum is back in his favor. What he's gonna say? Huh. Little do you realize that though you are in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Both doing the finger thinking movement. Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled toward the foyer, that fool and that fop would have seen him. Yeah, because they're lying. Fool and fop. Oh, you mean Filch and Bell. Well, you mentioned it. Both Phineas Filch and Florent L. Bell were in the foyer at the time, but they haven't stated that they saw yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination? Why didn't those two see the Tenma Taro impersonator pass by? Why don't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. No, really, I was. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. I just know he must have seen something. I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. I trust you have no objections to Mr. Justice's request, Prosecutor Blackquill. I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby. I knew that Tanuki was a rare find, but when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up as a witness. Do with him as you will. Did you just say captured? Oh god, he tried to rob something, didn't he? No, wait, I don't want to know. It's not my problem. Well then, bailiff, please go wake up Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand. I'm surprised he's not in chains. Will the witness state his name and occupation, please? Name's Filch. My name's Filch, caretaker of QB Manor. Oh, and this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like. Oh my, what a fabulous pair of shoes, and your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch. It's those shoes again. Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright? Don't tell me Filch stole them again. They're all yours, your honorship, sir. What? But they seem awfully expensive. Yep, too expensive for me. I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like your ownership.
It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I can't accept such gifts.
Hey, what do you know? Look at him. He remembers legal ethics. Good for you, Your Honor. Aw, ethics, schmethics. Just take them if you want them. Polish them up real nice for you, too.
I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw Tenmataro in the foyer after the murder.
You cannot bribe the honor, good sir. Guarding the foyer. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked. Let's make sure no one fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise could get to our guest. I was still in the office, keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. I didn't see nothing out of ordinary, no siree. The yokai keeps jabbering on about. The yokai you keep jabbering on about was but a phantom of a little girl's dreams. So you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like a Tamataro? Yep, this guy in the whole time. That's the truth, the holy truth, and nutter butter the truth. Nutter butter? Don't make me hungry. And Tamataro? Bah! You don't really believe in that yokai mumbo jumbo, do you? I certainly don't. My bracelet. It's... Something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. Really? Do you think Mr. Tanuki... Mr. Filch has been lying to us? I wouldn't rule it out. It's fine. I did start pretty late. And it was also like, oh, am I going to start today? But I did decide to. Hello, welcome, Zaka. Now, if I could just zero in on a tell. Some sort of nervous habit. Oh my god, what the fuck? What the? What's a hog doing in here? It's attacking me! Help me! I've been missing his alerts too. It's weird. My alerts specifically? Odd. I wonder if it's something to do with any settings? I have no idea. Maybe it's just Twitch acting up. Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. Taka. He seems to have taken quite a liking to you. The courthouse made his new home, in fact. He doesn't live with you, in jail? Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird? Taka simply loads trickery and fraud. And that queer power of yours seemed to have offended my dear bosom buzzard. This isn't some sort of trick, or... Stop! Stop! No powers! Stop! Stop! I won't be able to spot squat like this! What the heck is going on around here? Run for the hills!
No pets or other animals allowed in the courtroom.
What the fuck's happening, bro? Like his little scarf.
Look! Somebody help.
Oh, he's really having a bit of sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished.
In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will ensure your feathered friend is properly fed.
Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Damn it!
We'll be fine, I think. There was someone dressed as Tamataro there. Filch should have seen him. Well, just have to put our faith in Jinxie's statement for now.
Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination.
So this bird is stopping me from using my superpowers, so time to just press and contradict.
Hold it!
So Mr. QB asked you to be this? Why did Ultimate QB have you handle guard duty, Mr. Filch? Because he trusts me. I'm the mayor's caretaker after all. So you took said guard duty seriously? Let me tell you something about me. I am
Listen here, you little tanuki. Get straight to the point and be quick about it. The court wishes to hear what you did or didn't see in the foyer and not else.
Yes, of course, sir. Right away, sir. Blackquill's got him completely under his thumb. Like I said, it was guarding the foyer entrance that day.
Hold it!
Didn't see anyone fire foul or fishy, so no one could get to him. Sounds like security was pretty tight. That's because there's always lots of sneaks and thieves around festival time. And the solution was to entrust a man of security to a thief. That's not even funny. Maybe it's a matter of stopping thieves by hiring one. After all, it takes one to know one. I don't know, it seems more like letting the fox guard the henhouse to me.
So the witness justifies that he took guard duty seriously.
Yes, sir, your honorship, sir. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. Why am I doing this again? Did you really keep an eye on the foyer the entire time? Poor old Filchy. Been working hard my whole life. Only to be smeared by some greenhorn in a fancy schmancy suit and a silly haircut. So sorry, Mr. Blackquill, sir. I didn't mean to get off subject there. Jeez, Blackquill didn't even say anything. Answer your question. Yes, I kept an eye. No, both of them, in fact, on the foyer. But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary. No sirree. Could you describe the court who you would consider fishy looking? Someone all fidgety and shifty like? You know, like they're about to steal something. He just described himself. Like, he didn't see any mirrors. I wonder why Mr. Filch didn't see Temataro. Maybe Jink's the only thing she saw Temataro, or maybe Mr. Filch is lying. And if he's lying, we won't be able to spot a contradiction in his testimony. I think I have an idea. I was making sure I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. No, I didn't want to press that, my bad. Gotta skip all this. Crying. Don't, I keep thinking that's going backwards. I don't know why. It's left to go back. Alright. Let's present. I should be here.
Objection!
Objection! You were watching TV, jackass. Don't let it occur like that, Mr. Filch. Hey, you ain't right to bushwhack a fella like that. Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you'd never miss. I didn't watch that one. No, sorry. I was doing my job, just like I was supposed to. This guy doesn't know when to give up. What a fucking theme. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right? Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster." So, do you admit to slacking off? You can't trick me with your Rudy poo. Lawyer time? I'm sorry, Rudy what? Do you come from like a time period like older than 1920s? I'm one of them professional types too. I could do double duty watching TV and for you at the same time. You gotta listen to my video essays on YouTube, you know how it is. The only thing Mr. Filch can claim to be a professional of is professional thief.
Mr. Justice, who would have this court believe the witness was slacking off?
That's correct. He claims to have been watching TV in the foyer at the same time. But that's nothing but a bold-faced lie.
Bold, you say? But I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant a witness, Mr. Justice. And in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV and the foyer simultaneously. Now prove it.
The foyer diagram is the office. The TV is right there. The sofa is right there. You can't see both. You have to. You take your eye off of it for a bit. Here's the diagram. Please take a look at the direction the TV is facing in the diagram. Now, unless Mr. Filch has eyes where his right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time.
Well, I guess someone watching TV there could possibly see the entrance.
Exactly. And that means Mr. Filch, you were slacking off and we're not watching the foyer as you claim. Bam. Damn it! Don't you trick me. I dig it. Also, it's about 90 minutes already, almost 10. I have to take a bathroom break. So we will take it in the middle of this. Still pointing. Yeah, point at him. Keep pointing at him. Yikes! Bags out of the cat. I mean, other way around. Oh, damn, get booked.
Order! 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 But Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch's less than stellar work ethic relevant to this case?
It's very relevant, because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Tenmataro impersonator in the foyer. Objection. What now? Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? Oh, bird. Oh, look at the scritches. This. I'm not a mind reader. Wow, what the hell? Auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki? They were? I mean, yes. Yes, they were. But you already admitted to slacking off. Now you say you weren't. My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would hurt anyone in the foyer. You see, the foyer floor and stairway get all creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. Creak, 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 creak. Not enough to wake the dead, I reckon. So, you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by? Yep, my ears are working full time. So who's the liar now, you no good shyster? A lying thief calling me a shyster. This has to be a new low point of my fledgling career. Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackquill. Sir, you really are something else. I mean, you don't miss a thing. And them bags under your eyes? They're darker than mine. Fair warning, Mr. Filch. Taka is particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you lie at this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu. Yikes! Please don't eat me, Mr. Taka, sir.
The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under penalty of painful bird attacks. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony accordingly.
Why does Blackquill sound like Christian Bale Batman? Because his voice actor did not appear in the first cutscene, and I've decided this is his voice from now on. It's true. I was watching pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, They're working overtime. Floor is all creaky squeaky like. Nowhere miss someone walking by. So you see, there weren't no Timataro in the foyer. Creaky squeaky like, huh? Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand? A simple rational explanation is best. Forget yokai, demons, and such. You must use common sense for lacking that. Our entire world would be but upside down. Says the convict prosecutor, who is totally a sign of the end times for the legal world. And besides, if there were any yokai roaming about, I'd nab them and sell them to the zoo. I wonder whether Jinxie was just seeing things. It seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking to my guns. But if we can't prove she saw Timataro, the mayor's sure to be convicted. And we better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs.
The defense will cross-examine the witness.
That is true, but they didn't then, like, bring him back to be like, well, congratulations, you, get to be a prosecutor. Yeah, I don't know. It's this guy apparently murdered people.
Hold it!
You're paid for your work, aren't you? So how do you justify watching TV on the job? But it ain't easy being me. I mean, I can't watch TV when we have visitors, and there's no way to record stuff. Sorry, am I supposed to be consoling you over your first world problems? If those are his only problems, he should consider himself lucky. I guess pro wrestling's serious business to Mr. Filch. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears? Yeah, your ears, right? You lied earlier about taking your guard duty seriously, didn't you? Oh, that? There ain't no harm in bending the truth a little, right? Whoa! Listen to me, you little tanuki. Lie again, and Taka shall feast upon that forked tongue of yours. Screech! Yipes! Sorry, just let me keep my tongue. At least leave it until we get the truth out of him in any case. You were negligent in your duties, were you not? Yes, sir, I was, sir. But it ain't like that. What about...
Hold it!
So you have a pretty good ears, Mr. Filch. As good as they come, I'd say. Ain't nothing night to hear a creaky floor. Plus that Timataro makes a sound when he goes by. It's like jingle jangle. Jingle jangle. How does he do that? It's that staff of his. That's what jingle jangles. What's he talking about, Apollo? Beats me. I guess Timataro has that staff that makes noise. Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw Timataro holding a staff-like object that made a jangly sound. I guess it's the source of the noise then. Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Filch says Timataro jingle jangles. Would you consider that vital information? Very important. Always so important. Put that in the testimony, sir. Extremely vital. I request that it be added to his testimony. Timataro was to pass by, his staff would have gone jingle jangle. After leaving the scene, calling the police to pass each other at the bend in the hall he made for the foyer, he was carrying a staff-like implement that jingled. She couldn't call for help because there was no one else in the hall. It does say he has that staff. She says that's what she saw. I mean, this is a thing. Usually new statements are the key to solving this. So let's see if... Around, drunk induced slumber. It would have jingled and he would have heard it in it. That's what he says. What am I missing then? Can I... The air duct have anything to do with anything? He doesn't have his little jingle jangle staff. The airborne figure resembling Temataro was captured on camera around 3:40 p.m. near Ninetales Vale. But this doesn't prove anything. I mean, guy died around 3:20. Could have totally gotten rid of it after he went outside. Does he even have a staff? Wait a minute. Oh! He wasn't here for the statement. He wouldn't know that Temataro has a staff. How does he know that? The Yokai Legend Scroll only depicts Temataro with no staff.
Objection!
Objection! Temataro's staff would make a jangling sound, you say. Well, I'm gonna say that your story doesn't add up. Is there something the defense would like to share with the court? Mr. Filch, you say that you didn't see Temataro on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Temataro will be holding a staff? Huh? You see, the Temataro Jinxie saw held a staff in his hands, and she described its sound just like you did, as a kind of jangling sound, but you were asleep in the fucking... outside the courtroom, my good friend. In the break room. Yeah? So he was holding the staff! What's your point?
Objection!
Objection! The point is that Temataro doesn't use a staff. Not normally. What are you talking about? See? This is the only known document depicting Temataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch? You're right! There's no staff, not even a cane or a walking stick. So the question is, why does the witness think Temataro uses staff? I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. Well now, this is getting interesting. Alright, Mr. Justice, it's time to show the court where you're going with this. Please tell the court why Mr. Filch believes Temataro carries a staff. Scatterbrain, he actually saw Temataro. All of these are most joke answers except for the middle one. Mr. Filch actually saw Temataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way he could possibly know about the staff. Busted again! Oh! I slashed him. Bloody hell, you duplicitous little... Yeah, how'd that feel, Blackquill? Not so fun when you're on the receiving end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Filch. You did see Temataro that day, didn't you? Well? I'm begging you. Please don't make me say it! Well, clearly you did see Temataro. Stop stalling and testify to that fact. No, can't do. No way, no how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be. He? Mr. Filch still won't admit to seeing Temataro, even though everyone knows he did. The question now is why? Mr. Filch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it, They say we must not gaze upon Tenmataro, but in the event that you do look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Tenmataro will claim your soul. Right. Jinxie wouldn't admit seeing Tenmataro after hearing about the village superstitions. She said that if she told anyone that had seen Tenmataro, he'd claim her soul. What, you think Filch believes that too? So Mr. Big Time City Slicker Lawyer has heard about him. Them old village superstitions.
The defense, please explain what the witness is talking about.
The people of Ninetales Vale believe some pretty strange things, and their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Tenmataro.
The darn straight, that's why. It's all right here.
The superstitions: do not gaze upon Tenmataro. Don't tell others if you see him. Ignoring these superstitions will cost you your soul. There is, however, one way to save it. Your immediate departure from the village, and freeing him will bring ruin upon the village. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul? See? That's why us folks in Ninetales Vale can't talk about seeing Tenmataro! Superstitions handed down to generation in Ninetales Vale. That clears up one mystery. Filler took advantage of the superstitions wearing a Tenmataro costume. They knew that then that way no one could talk about him. So it was as if he never existed. Except for the papers that posted it. The defense holds that this Tenmataro impersonator is the true killer. What? Boom. Boom.
Objection!
Objection. Huh. Superstitions, you say? What kind of fool would actually believe such rubbish? And would that using some silly fairy tale could also easily expose the culprit? You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection!
No. Your common sense seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Mr. Prosecutor Blackquill. Objection! Try living in my world of narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstitions in the clink, but few are those who truly believe in them.
Objection!
Objection! You're gonna keep doing this all day, buddy? You in your world, in your little dark cell, listening to your evanescence. Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the people of Ninetales Vale. A life or death superstition might make even you a believer. Grr. Yeah, look at all my objections. Get fucked.
Order! Order, I say!
You fool of a Tanuki. 2 times now, your lies have cost me. Sorry. I promise not to do it again. Taka, my fine feathered friend. Have at him. Yipes! He's gonna eat me alive! Head for the hills! And there he goes. He took off. And it does. I don't think inmates are allowed radios. He has an inmate friend that brings him in CDs. Well, so this is around 2013. Probably MP3 player.
Bailiff! What are you waiting for? After him! Who's the fastest men?
That's certainly not something you see every day. Did you get him?
It would seem a new and important fact has come to light. Third party disguised as the Yokai Tenmataro was at the scene. Now we have 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackquill? Ellipses. Whoa! Oh no! What? What? Oh? Oh! The shackles. Oh. Down! Jesus! I'm too young to die! Justice, Dono. Long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. You'd best say your prayers. Why give him a blade? He's a convict. Nah, he don't got a blade. He's bluffing. He doesn't have anything on him. They surely took away his weapons. Do something! Have no fear. Fulbright is here. When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going. Objection. They can go wherever he kills us. Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackquill, for it is his sense of justice that set him free. Objection! Objection! I object to the Fulbright's definition of justice. My God.
Silence.
Silence. Oh? Huh. I'm not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards. Oh. Well, in that case, Prosecutor Blackquill, can I ask you to, you know. I think the judge forgot he's in charge here. So, Justice Dona's assertion is this. Tenma Taro is the real killer, not Maya Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Person pretending to be a yokai, yes. Right, and that yokai, or rather whoever was impersonating him, killed Alderman Cuby.
Silence.
Silence. Would you please? Oh my God! You have to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai there in the Fox Chamber, because it was in the chamber at the back. What? He's right. She said nothing about Tenma Taro being in the Fox Chamber. Yeah, because he was in the Forbidden Chamber. Or the vents. Huh. Let me enlighten you. That little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door. And your point is? Upon opening the door, she found a freshly skewed murder victim, the alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor. No, there must have been someone dressed up like Tim. Ow! Fucking stop that! Then why does that little scamp claim not to have seen the yokai in the Fox Chamber? Considering her father is accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room. I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tenma Taro inside the Fox Chamber? Huh. There is but one way to find out. Ask Jinxie Tenma whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long as my blade thirsted for blood long last, it shall be sated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? I ain't find this dude. Show me what you're truly capable of, Justice Dono. Please. He is fighting me with a bird. This is unfair. Adina, get that bird. Keep him busy. Very well then. Both parties no doubt need some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... No recess! 3 minutes. What did I do? 3 minutes? I'm sorry, but... A 3-minute recess?
Just so. Plenty of time if your destination is of intent is the loo.
The loo? You mean the bathroom?
Sheesh, at least include enough time to wash our hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished.
Squawk. Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins.
I declare Prosecutor Blackquill the winner of this round of Simon Says. Doesn't bode well for us if the prosecutor is running the show, does it? So, we have a 3-minute recess. He busted out of his shackles! Yeah. You could expect this and much more in your days of law, Dina, trust me. Yeah, what was that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Better be careful, Apollo. You've really brought out the samurai in him. Especially after you proved there was a Tenmataro impersonator at the manor. What's with that guy in the whole samurai act anyway?
Just fine swordsmanship. That is no mere act. Mr. Justice, it's time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel!
No, wait! Let's save the dueling until after we prove your innocence.
I suppose I could wait till later.
Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here? Athena, I'm gonna go wash up. Remember what Blackquill said? Apollo, don't be late! I'm gonna get attacked, aren't I? That was a quick-ass recess.
Well, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma, a maid at QB Manor. I believe we can proceed now, if the witness is ready, that is.
Jinxie's mood matrix? Oh, we're gonna do that thing, okay. No, Arion, leader of the 100 demons, he really does exist! Wow. That was one well-polished tray.
The witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible.
What is it, my child? Begone, Narion. Narion? Leader of the 100 demons.
Oh! You think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar. The demon of due process, if you will.
The charm has no effect. The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one. Has this little girl not seen old people? Now, you little scamp. Yes.
Oh, so how come you don't think this guy's a yokai?
I trust you know why you're here. Bags. Bags. Oh, that tricksy Tanuki. Try the noodle stand. Go enjoy a big bowl of Tanuki tail noodles while you're at it. Everyone's a comedian. No, I meant your bags. The one under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. I mean, yeah, it does happen. Here, this charm will keep Azukarai away. Azukiarai. The yokai that washes Azuki beans. The only thing needing washing would be your father's neck before I take his head clean off. Kiarai often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. What? Alright, I will stand up more. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? Well, thank you. Looks like Prosecutor Blackquill got more than he bargained for. Bad enough alone, but together, those two are just plain creepy.
Your testimony, if you will please, Mr. Tenma. Specifically, whether or not you saw Tenma Taro when you discovered the crime scene. What Jinxie saw.
Did I see Tenma Taro in the fox chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw, yes. Now I remember. Yokai! Yokai right there in that room! So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-huh. Lots and lots of them.
Wait, more than one yokai? Did Tenma Taro happen to be among them?
I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Nurikabe, Seto Taisho. They were all there.
This is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood of them.
I think she means the statues that were in the room. This is fucking stupid. I'm leaving. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scamp's testimony? Yuck! Hold it! Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course.
What a fabulous idea. Well, let's get some BetterHelp subscriptions and we can proceed.
No, I mean actual therapy, jackass.
Oh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing, Adina? She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene and fear of testifying have dazed and confused, a regular ball of confusion. But my analytical psychological based approach should be able to help.
Any objections, Prosecutor Blackquill? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed?
It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. You'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. Huh. I'll show you.
Yeah, watch her technology. Look at that.
Okay, loading. Hang on. Oh god, there's a software update. I think we have to wait like a good hour.
Oh my god, what is going, this girl? I'm getting frightened right now.
So she is sad.
Well, yeah, she saw. Now she remembers. Look at all these yokai right in there in that room. Arr.
On something. Looks like an out of control emotion. Adina, what exactly are we looking at here? A bunch of yokai. They're real. This is, it's one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Whoa, you mean that little thing can do all this? Pretty cool, huh?
Here it was just some kid's toy.
Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit there at the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her utter emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. So, all those yokai she thinks she saw are a product of rampant emotions. Yes, that's right. Her fear is instilled in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinxie's case is fear. So she was, and still is, seeing ordinary objects as yokai. Like me. And my hair. We'll have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now, let's see. Yokai, right there in that room. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by pressing probe. Oh, we get to... Oh, okay. Next, point to what's causing Jinxie's out of control emotion. Finally, hit probe again with the triangle to try and get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try. Okay, so, Fireball Ghosts, Cup Monsters, a Wall Monster, Cat Monster, and a Wheel of Fire. I'm assuming that's just a chandelier.
Got it!
Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on the Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, the yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the aldermans. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly, it's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. Must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. I need to point out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. That wasn't Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? It's a chandelier. That's Akasha. The light fixture? This one right here. It has a flame design and is up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on that Wheel of Fire. The Akasha you saw was just a light fixture. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now you've got the hang of it. It should be a cinch to point out the rest. You can see, what about the white wall-like monster? It's Nuakabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. Or it's just a partition. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. This raccoon dog isn't a Tanuki monster. It's just a statue of one. And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here, it's nothing more than a fox statue. Eek. It's so bright. Well, she's calm now. You did it, Apollo. Her extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me? There weren't any yokai after all. See, a clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the Fox Chamber. Right. There never really were any yokai there. So the fence is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion. Wait. Jinxie, what about the Tematara? There wasn't anyone dressed up as a Temataro or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now. You've gotta be joking! Come on, guys. There's another room in the place, come on. It's also the vents, but it's probably the room. Order! Order in the court! I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. Yo, what is he Is he just like hitting it with his hand, just leaving an air attack? What the fuck is he doing? Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jixie still hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly, we should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. We got time for updates, girl? How long those will take? Okay, so this is fear and surprise. She was so scared when she entered the room. Her legs gave out and fell to the floor. They're in the fox chamber. I saw the alderman dead on the table, and Papa collapsed in a chair. Nobody else was there, and that includes Tenma Taro. All of them are shocked and scared. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Try to find the emotions to contradict her statements. So if I find a contradictory emotion, I should point it out. That's right. But it's not just contradictory emotions you should look out for. You should also keep an eye out for sudden changes in an emotion's intensity. Oh, they can be intense. Oh, okay. Emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement. It's important to compare how the same emotion changes throughout the testimony. Contradictory emotions and changes in intensity. Okay, I'll give it a shot. The surprise is very low right now. She was very scared. Mostly surprised, I guess. Now they're both surprised and scared. Obviously, you would be scared if you saw a corpse. And then it seems scared is taken over. Surprise is less. That includes the Temotaro. But she was still scared. I mean, you're still scared of corpses. That is a thing. There were like a couple moments where her emotions change. Did you see Temotaro in the fox chamber? I was so scared when I entered the room. Let's do this.
Got it!
Got it! The amount of fear you felt is rather low despite your legs having given out from fright. Could something have lessened your fear? Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment. You did? Where did it come from? Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she were there with me. Okay, I'll enter sudden burst of courage. Now let's see. Ah, look! Oh, she's more courageous now. Is it the flower that she gave us? Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. Bye-bye. A sudden burst of courage. Now where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was, but I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. And any idea what could have given Jinxie that courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? The Ninetales flower! Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a Ninetales flower at the scene, did you? No! Ah! The demon lawyer strikes again! I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a Ninetales flower on it. I liked it so much, I kept it. Oh, she took something from the crime scene. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene. Yeah, you can't do that, Jinxie. What you doing, girl?
That's right. Young lady, removing evidence is a big no-no. Now the witness will produce said evidence this instant.
Sorry.
Does seem to be some sort of case.
Oh, it's a key.
Oh, look, something slid out. It appears to be a key. Might I have a look, your baldness? Huh? This is none other than the master key to Hubie Manor. Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackquill? It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder.
A master key? That went missing?
Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp here has stumbled upon article of unimaginable consequence.
That's a little melodramatic, don't you think?
Huh. Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. Sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ringo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl.
And your point is, please don't frame her for the murder. Her dad is not gonna like that.
Until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world. And there was no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Maya Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable.
No! You don't know. The vents are still a possibility. I just need objection. How could this happen?
The defense's assistant were afraid from growling in her frustrations.
Dina, are you alright? I know Man 10 was innocent, but there's nothing we can do. This sucks. Girl, please get some courage right now. I need it.
Sykes, Dono. Allow me to put you out of your misery.
Can I decline your offer?
Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of clear head and a clean conscience come running in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept.
Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us.
Well, he's not gonna fool us with his stupid mind games.
Athena, don't fall for his tricks. No, I'm the one who's dazed and confused. I can't even think straight. Hey, are you alright? She fell into his trap!
No, this is just you make a mad dash from the courtroom into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed.
Alright, I'll be back in 10. Athena! Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Apollo.
Mr. Justice, I heard the word objection, but what is it you object to?
Huh? Oh, right. Objection was more of a reflex than anything else. I just say it sometimes. Sometimes I say it in the mirror. Fuck. though I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Adina.
The court is waiting, Mr. Justice, though as it stands now. I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect, if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case?
Well, actually I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Apollo, you do have something more than your cords of steel, don't you? Not really, but we'll be fine. But... Got absolutely nothing. But that's never stopped me before. Yeah, the true right agency tactic. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room, because it's all over if I don't. Apollo, this calls for a new approach. I had to think outside the box. Or in this case, inside the box. And what a doozy that locked room is, too.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument?
You bet I do. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another.
Vague conjecture will only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono.
Time to do or die, literally.
Defense will now explain how it will be possible to escape the locked room.
You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened? I'm fine. We just need to think this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning. So let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there's a sheer cliff outside. As for the air vents, it's up too high, and there's nothing you could stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the Forbidden Chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, that's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes. Alright, the window and the air duct. And whatever's left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. No, the defense proposes that the killer escaped through here. Okay, so she comes up. Here's the She goes in, starts walking, and one person's dead, one person's sleep killed. I say Forbidden Chamber because he left the key for the Forbidden Chamber there.
And just how did the killer escape through there, Mr. Justice?
Well,
your reasoning skills seem quite questionable as your proposed escape route.
I wish I could escape right now.
I'm afraid there's no escaping a penalty for your random guessing, Mr. Justice.
Can I try that one again? Let's load. Oops. No, this one, yes. Okay. My second guess is the air duct. Because the window is a bad idea.
Take that!
Okay. I've run out of guesses, guys. It's over. No, there's gotta be something. Box chamber. Phone. Drew the front door.
The hallway door? At least I suppose that would be the only way out.
Huh. It appears you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Tenma came on the scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox Chamber and lock it without a key? I should have seen this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I can understand if the killer had exited the room with the key. But...
Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly.
I'm fine. I can explain myself. The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because... Tenma locked it from the inside. It locked on its own. The purple locked it from the outside. Locked it from the inside. Mayor Tenma locked it himself after the killer fled the scene. Just in case the killer decided to return. I thought we meant Tenma Taro. That would explain why the room was locked.
Yes, I see.
Again, wouldn't Mayor Tenma have mentioned that himself? Oh, maybe he slipped his mind because of the blow to his head? Damn! Huh. I've already considered and investigated such possibilities. You have? The mayor's fingerprints were not found on the door or its doorknob. The only fingerprints found belonged to the alderman. Ergo, the mayor did not so much as touch the door. Oops. Oh, jeez. I would believe then... It's locked on its own. The perp locked it from the outside. How would that be possible? Let's try this one. What if the room locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door and then locked it. Ouch! Consider this. The master key was found inside a tightly locked Fox chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from that room is a blatant contradiction of fact. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside. But the key was found inside the room. This seem like a contradiction. If only we could explain both. Like how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from the outside. Through the air vent?
Well, let's see if the defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackquill draws his sword.
How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? Slipped it in when the door was open, drew it from the outside, changed the lock, drew it in from the outside. What if someone drew it in to the room from the outside? You know, something like go out the hallway door, lock the room, and toss the key back through the window. That would explain how the master key could be inside the locked room. And where would you draw it from? There's a cliff outside the Fox Chamber's window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. Oh, right. Back! What about the air vents? I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. Somewhere other than the window. Could the key have been tossed in through somewhere other than the window? I'm still a little confused on the vents, but from what I'm gathering is... At some point, the killer locked the door of the Fox Chamber from the outside. No, okay. I remember that she went to go call the police when she saw the crime scene. The hell I went? Hang on. They're leaving the scene and calling the police. They passed each other at a bend in the hallway. As he made for the foyer, he was carrying a staff-like implement and jingled. She couldn't call for help because there was no one else in the hall. So yeah, she goes to call the police the phone. Sees the guy and come out. So she first went into the chamber. She was scared, but then she found the master key. So it was in the... Now she went in the chamber, her legs gave way. How could she go in? I thought it was locked. Let's just sort of hear the explanation a little bit more. Yeah, the air duct. The air vent? Yes. The window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not. Oh, that's right! The Fox Chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killers entered the air duct from the vent outside the chamber, then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. Okay. So the real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox Chamber. So we finally get to the air duct thing. Hear the gears in my head turning right now. Entered the air duct. So they went through the vent. Is what he's saying. And then they dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. That's preposterous! Oh, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly.
Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit confused too.
Don't worry. I'll explain it so even your honor can understand. Okay, first, the real killer, disguised as Senmataro, murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber. Then, they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside the hallway. Oh, okay. Alright. And the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent in the ceiling there. All that was left to do after that was go back to the duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? Amazing. Even I could follow that. Even I could follow that too. But how did she unlock the door again? That just seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like Tenmataro. And there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in that room.
Yeah, looks like the lawyer's being the jailbird prosecutor.
Whoa, that was a total turnabout. Massive forehead of his seems much more attractive now. What?
Order! Order, I say!
Now that I've proved the possible third party, I don't see how our client could be guilty.
Silence.
Yes? A valiant effort, Justice Dono, but your final just missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? That's exactly what happened. The killer fled from the Youch! But that is impossible. Without being spotted by the foyer security camera, that is. The electric eye here would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there is no sign of Tenmataro anywhere in the security footage. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good. Hold it. Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera. Oh, you mean like if you hug the wall, jump over the railing and then like keep hugging the wall and then you go through that window? I guess, yeah. You're right.
Silence.
Silence. Huh. Must I point out every crucial detail in my defense? Seems like you lack not only your brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliff side of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one. No! Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window? What the heck, right? Ha! I suppose your next proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. That would mean the killer really was a yokai. If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer. Who's saying we don't? As completely far-fetched as it might be. What? You're saying you can prove the killer could fly? Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Fuck it. Let's go. Whoa, I thought I was the one with the cords of steel.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. I can't wait to hear this bullshit.
Your Honor.
What evidence do you have that the killer flew away?
The newspaper. Take a look at this special edition paper. Tenmataro, real or flight of fancy? What does this article prove, Mr. Justice? The photo in the article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in the photo is the killer shortly after they fled out the window.
But Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting.
Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer disguised as Tenmataro flew away. You know, by some way or another.
Silence.
It is your brain that has flown the coop. That image is not but trick photography or some other form of artifice. Okay then, how about the Tenmataro figure Mr. Filch saw? It just vanished into thin air. No, there's a rational common sense explanation for that. The infernal yokai our tricksy Tanuki witness never reached the entrance. He, or should I say, she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't like where this is going one bit. Now the fact that we know the yokai had come from the fox chamber
means that it was likely either Mayor Damien Tenma or his daughter, Jinxie Tenma. However, we know that the Mayor Tenma was already unconscious at the time. Not good. Not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants and the appearance of Tenma Taro were the work of one individual. That individual is none other than Jinxie Tenma. No, this isn't where I wanted the case to go at all. No! And the crowd goes wild. This isn't good. Order! Order! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever! The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father, and it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out the window. Huh. Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap? What do we do now, Paolo? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. If only we had one. Bailiff, Caesar. It's time I interrogated her as a samurai of yore would. What the fuck? Hold it! It's the dad! Mayor Tenma? Huh. This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? Not good, he's gonna kill you. Tenma Taro's true identity is... No, don't confess! Now, Mr. Mayor. It would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into the yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook her little yokai farce. No! No, don't confess! I don't have all the evidence, but I can find something! The defendant intends to confess! Wait. Apollo? Prosecutor Blackquill is up to his mind games again. Mayor Tenma, no! Don't fall for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone. The real killer is... Oh, no. Mayor Tenma's going to confess unless we do something! But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away! What evidence do we have that proves that? Anything? Your immediate departure from this village? It's obviously this person, but we can't prove it! Supposedly in the foyer with Filch at the time of the murder. Just keep seeing. Maybe we'll get a new piece of evidence that saves us. It's possible. What? Buddy, is this your way of confessing? Because, please don't. Look upon me in despair. For ripe is the time for my return. I should watch what I wish for. Kaka! Foolish mortals! I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek. Mayor Tenma? What's going on? What in the dang romper? Silence. I am Tenma Taro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold the return of the Demon King!
What the? Demon King?
Demon King Ganon? Well then, I'm gonna take a vacation. Oh, what's going on, bro? What was happening? The witness will, he will explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenma Taro, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is I, Tenma Taro, the one whom you seek come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenma Taro, you say? Ha! What nonsense!
Well, Mayor Tenma is a yokai now. He's pretending to be one.
Ka-ka-ka-ka! His body is now mine. So you're saying that Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? And that's the yokai that Jinxie Tenma and Phineas Filch saw. And the one captured in the newspaper photo. Those were all you. The cursed power of these warding charms prevent me from revealing my true form.
They're just like, what the actual fuck, bro? I like how she wipes away her sweat, but he's just like, nah, I'm just gonna keep sweating. I don't care.
Your baldness.
Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt?
Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented.
What are you talking about? We had a confession by a fucking ghost. Or did you forget that?
Be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned.
No!
Huh? What? Your claim the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party? The true killer? The one who escaped from the locked fox chamber? But it was the accused all along. Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be a real, in a manner of speaking. For the alderman killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene? That too was Mayor Tenma. Or should I say our dear Tenma Taro. The pieces have fallen into place.
How so, Prosecutor Blackwell?
It seems I must spell it out for you. Mayor Tenma killed the alderman in the fox chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warding charms from the forbidden chamber's door. But then he fell unconscious from the blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter Jinxie Tenma stumbled on the scene of the crime. The little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenma Taro. Now you're believing in spirits! Freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the fox chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenma Taro. Objection! You just what? But when we arrived on scene, the mayor was found unconscious. How is that possible if he was supposed to be flown at the foyer window, and now you believe that the foyer window is just flies and in ghosts? How very convenient when it's in your favor. Then what? Do you mean to say that the maid of Kyubi Manor, Jinxie Tenma, was Tenma Taro? Hold it! Caw! That too is easily explained. Flew about for it, a time I did, but presently, tired, I made for the Forbidden Chamber. But alas, the exhaustion took me unawares in the Fox Chamber, and I knew no more.
He's just pretending to be a yokai to save his daughter. What a good dad, but also please stop doing that. You're really ruining my case here.
It would seem the pieces are still in place.
Is Blackquill up to his tricks again?
I don't know what to say. Is the defendant a real, live
That rumor Mayor Tenma is true? I knew Yokai were real. You mean he really did kill Alderman just so we could release Tenmatara?
Order! Order!
Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in Yokai. It's sentences on steroids. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty of your baldness. This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Is it though? Is it? Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection!
Objection! Mayor Tenma is just pretending to be Tenmatara to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature. Since both sides have raised valid points, I have no choice but to...
Silence!
Silence. Huh. This is the dark age of law where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning. Justice Dono.
Objection!
That's a good line. Also, objection! I won't fabricate any evidence. Silence. Now he's just saying silence to objection. Okay, sure. Then prove it by joining me in the dark side. What? A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. Whoa. Hey, yo. Just you and me in the same room together in jail? Oh man, I know it's lesbian visibility week, but I guess today is just yaoi, huh? How about I just promise not to succumb to anything? Oh. We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. I don't think the detective would like me being there. Oh, what is the hell? Oh my god, what's wrong with him? I looked away for 1 second. What happened? The guilty verdict is all about. Prosecutor Blackquill, we've had enough of your hijinks. You will not be sharing a room together. That's between you and me. The foundation of justice is fair play, and you are in serious violation of that. What in the devil was that? Fool bright, if you tampered with my shackles in some manner. Seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave. Oh my god. Thank you, Nicole. Just shot them. Oh, hello, Nicole. I'm sorry, I popped into your stream for like a little bit. So you were playing the first Ace Attorney. I couldn't say that because I then had to play this because I'm just trying to make as much progress as possible. Also, no, you know, you're starting the first Ace Attorney. This game is like the 5th game. We're not playing the same game. So if you do not want any spoilers, you should probably leave. You're on number 1 and I'm on number 5. It's not even in the... You have the original trilogy, I assume? I got the 2nd trilogy that came out recently. Well, actually these games are very old. This like came out in 2013, but you know what I mean. It's all in HD here though. There it is. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Don't mind that image. Yeah, to be honest, this is actually pretty separated. There's not really a lot of characters. Oh, what was happening? Also, this man's just shocking the man. You know how it goes. Your Honor, you need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Blackquill will remain on his best behavior. A bit late with the reassurances, aren't we, Detective?
Well, in that case, this concludes today's deliberations. Prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further their investigation.
I'm surprised we're doing a second day.
The court is adjourned.
Hooray! Yes, I do. It actually is tiring in my throat to the point where now it's a good time to end off because it's been 3 hours. But we did it. We finished the first trial and day. I have not gotten my client off of the guilty verdict yet, but we will. I guess we have to continue this. Yippee! This is the emote, by the way. Thank you for subscribing. You now have this emote. I maybe we'll stream this again on Thursday. Tomorrow I stream Baldur's Gate 3 again as I continue that long journey. I know that for sure I will stream this on Saturday. Yippee! But yeah, no, Nicole, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I know a lot of stuff happened there. Excited about what's going on. It will tell me to go to the games menu. Return to the games menu. But this is a thing. Just cover your eyes. This is I just might as well show you, Nicole. This is the second trilogy, which is 4, 5, and 6. Which is was re-released in January. I've already played 1, 2, and 3. HD 1080 4K. I actually don't know if it's 4K, but I know it's 1080. It does look pretty good. There's a bunch of extra stuff that I cannot look at because I have not finished all these games yet. I do have the original trilogy and I've beaten them. In fact, if you want to watch those VODs, they're on my YouTube. BuppyStreams and LPs. They're fun.